गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पतान शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् ॐ श्री महागणाधिपतये नमः। ॐ वृषभं चर्षणीनां विश्वरूपमदाभ्यं बृहस्पतिं वरेण्यम् ॐ तद्विष्णोः परमं पदं सदा पश्यन्ति सूरयः दिवि वचक्षुराततम् ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं महालक्ष्म्यै नमः। ॐ श्लीं ह्रीं ज्योतिर्ब्राह्माय नमः। Can you repeat after me? Hare Ramakrishna 3 times. ॐ हरे रामकृष्ण हरे रामकृष्ण हरे रामकृष्ण। We are in Panchama Bhava Phaladhyaya, the results of the effects of the fifth house. Atha Panchama Bhavasya Kathayami Phalam Dvija Lagnape Sota Bhavasthe Sotape Cha Sute Sthite Kendra Trikona Samstheva Purnam Putra Sukham Vadet Shashthashtamavjayasthe Tu Sutadhishe Swaputrata Sute Stangate Vapi Papa Krante Janirbare Tada Najayate Putro Jato Vamriyate Dhruvam. Okay. So what Parashara is saying is Atha Panchama Bhavasya Kathayami Phalam Dvija. O Brahmin, now I am going to say, I am saying the results of the fifth house. Lagnape Sutta Bhavasthe Sutapecha Sute Sthite Lagnape Sutta Bhavasthe. If the Lagna Lord, Lagna Pa means Lagna Lord. Pa means Palayati iti Pa, means one who rules. So Lagna Pa means Lagna Lord. Lagnape Sutabhavasthe. If the Lagna Lord is in Sutabhava, means fifth house. Sutapecha Sute Sthite. And the fifth Lord is also in the fifth house. If Lagna Lord and fifth Lord are together in the fifth house. Kendra Trikona Samstheva or Kendra Trikona Samstheva or in a quadrant or a trine, then Purnam Putra Sukham Vadet. Kendra Trikona Samstheva Purnam Putra Sukham Vadet. Okay. So if the Lagna Lord and the fifth Lord are together in the fifth house or in a Kendra or a trine, then Purnam Putra Sukham Vadet. The happiness from children is complete, is guaranteed. It is 100%. Sashthashtamavjayasthetu Sutadhishetva Putrata Sashthashtamavjayasthetu. On the other hand, if he is in the 6th, 8th or 12th house, Sutadhishetva Putrata. If those houses contain the fifth Lord, then there are no children. Aputrata means lack of children. 6, 8 and 12. Basically Dusthana.
It is first and fifth Lord together in this Dusthana, or it is
that is what originally he said first and fifth Lord. Okay. In this particular line he is only saying if the fifth Lord. So bottom line is, for fifth Lord, forget the Lagna Lord, for fifth Lord to be in a quadrant or a trine is good. For fifth Lord to be in 6, 8 and 12 is bad. And if Lagna Lord also joins him in the good houses, it is even better. Similarly, if you were talking about fifth Lord being in the 8th or 6th or something, if one of those Dusthana Lords also joins, that will make it more worse. That will make it worse. No matter?
For example, Mars is in 6th house.
Yeah. No matter that. Mars being a natural malefic planet, being in the 6th house, certain things will prosper if he is in the 6th house. But as far as children are concerned, if he is the fifth Lord in the 6th house, it's not good for children.
Not happiness from children.
Not with respect to happiness from children. Yeah, he said no kids, but you have to take it with a pinch of salt. It is basically either no kids or not full happiness from children. So there may be a child, but the child may be giving a lot of trouble. Sute shestangate vapi papa krante cha nirbale tada na jayate putro jato vamrite dhruvam. Okay. Suteshe means if the fifth lord, astangate, suteshe astangate is sandhi, suteshe astangate becomes suteshe astangate. Suteshe astangate, astangata means combust. If the fifth lord is combust, vapi or papakrante means with functional malefics, afflicted by functional malefics. If the fifth lord is either combust or afflicted by functional malefics, cha nirbale means weak. Tada najayate putro, then also there is no child, child is not born. Va mriyate dhruvam, or if born, he dies early. So basically, if the fifth lord is combust or in general weak, or if he is with functional malefics, maybe the result he has given is too extreme. Maybe the child does not die, but it's not auspicious for the children. And more than the Rashi chart, if you apply this to the Saptamsa chart, if you see the fifth lord basically showing the first child is in the sixth house, it's very likely that the first child will not survive. It can be an abortion or things like that.
Fifth lord is sense in that Saptamsa we say even odd sign like
Yeah. Count the fifth lord backwards or forwards based on what is the controlling sign. I suggest basically replace the Sutesha in these verses with that basically. If Lagna is, let's say, Scorpio, then the fifth lord is actually moon. You count backward because it's even. So fifth lord is moon, and let's say moon is in the 8th house, Gemini. Then basically the first child may not survive.
Also it may correspond to in the case like if he is in 8th house he may not survive, if he is in 6th house maybe he will have trouble from him.
Not necessarily. If the Lagna is odd sign, if the fifth lord is in 6th house, again it's not good, because that is the Marakasthana. If the Lagna lord is in Marakasthana from that house, it's not good. So fifth lord in 6th in the case of odd sign, and ninth lord in the 8th in the case of even sign, both are equally bad. But let's say Lagna is odd and the fifth lord is not in the 6th but in the 8th, maybe it's not that bad, because taking the 5th house as Lagna, the lord is basically, where is the lord? Is in the 4th house. It's not that bad. But being a Dusthana, he will give some trouble relating to that child. There will be some suffering or anxiety for the native related to that particular child. Yeah. This is odd sign. If it is even sign, then it is different. But the bottom line is, you can use Parasara's verses in Saptamsa apart from the regular Rashi chart. षष्ठस्थाने सुताधीशे लग्नेशे कुज संयुते म्रियते प्रथमापत्यम काकबंधा च गेहिनी. Okay. षष्ठस्थाने सुताधीशे. षष्ठस्थाने सुताधीशे. What does it mean? Huh?
no,
Shastha is 6th. Shasthasthana means in the 6th house. Sutadhisha means the 5th lord. So 5th lord is in the 6th house. And Lagneshe Kuja Samyute. The Lagna lord is with Mars. So 5th lord goes into the 6th house and Lagna lord is with Mars. Then Mriyate Prathamapatyam. Mriyate means dies. Prathamapatyam means Prathama Apatyam, the first Santana, the first child. The first child dies. Kakabandha cha Gehini. I am not exactly sure what Kakabandha means, but Santanam's translation is his female will not be fertile to yield an offspring. That's what he translates. I am not sure Kakabandha means by Kak. I am not actually 100% sure. I have to do some digging. So let us accept his translation for now because I am not sure. But Gehini means the housewife, the wife of the person basically.
When we say the suffix in the child dies, that means the abortion come into account.
Yeah, it can be either death soon after birth or it could be abortion itself. Abortion is considered to be a death of the child. As soon as the zygote is formed, basically child has taken shape. And if there is an abortion, it's basically the child is dead. You don't consider it to be a non-child just because the child did not come out of the womb.
Will any of these conditions, if parents, this is just an offshoot question.
Yeah.
If parents are unwilling to have the child and then they got pregnant and they want to have an abortion,
Yeah.
it is that abortion is forced by the parents willingly.
Mm-hmm.
In that case also will this combination show?
Yeah, some of these combinations may show.
Otherwise, that intuition.
But the Lagna Lord may also have a role to play, or 7th Lord. They may have a role to play. Then it may be through their will. The next verse 5 is Sutadhisho hi nichastho vyayashasthashtamasthitah kakabandha bhavennari sute ketu budhau yadi. Sutadhisho hi nichastho. Sutadhisho hi nichastho means the 5th Lord is debilitated. Okay. And what else? Sutadhisho hi nichastho vyayashasthashtama sthitah means he is in 12th, 6th or 8th house. So 5th Lord is debilitated either in the 6th house or 8th house or 12th house. So 5th Lord has to be in a Dusthana and debilitated. So doubly bad. Is it possible? Let's take Aries Lagna. The 5th Lord, where does he get debilitated? In the 7th house. Taurus, the 5th Lord Mercury is debilitated in the 11th house. Gemini, the 5th Lord Venus is debilitated in the 4th house. Cancer, the 5th Lord Mars and Ketu. Ketu gets debilitated in the 12th house. So that is one example. The other one, Mars, where does he get debilitated? In the 7th house. No, not 7th house. Lagna. For Cancer, the 5th Lord Mars gets debilitated in Lagna, but Ketu gets debilitated in a Dusthana. So that is one case we have. Cancer, Ketu. Then Leo, the 5th Lord Jupiter gets debilitated in the 6th house. Virgo, the 5th Lord Saturn gets debilitated in the 8th house. Yeah, so Virgo, Leo, they are examples. Cancer also with Ketu. So we have plenty of examples. So let's stop it there. The bottom line is this particular principle has several examples. Okay, Kakabandha bhavennari. Okay, Kakabandha, again, I'm not 100% sure how the word came. I'm not sure of the etymology of the word, so I don't know exactly what it means. But Santanam's translation is basically has only one child. So, in that case, there is only one child. That is what he seems to, Santanam is translating it as. We will accept it for now. Sute ketu budhau yadi, or Sute ketu budhau yadi means 5th house has Mercury and Jupiter, and actually he did not say R, so it is basically and. When R is not specifically mentioned, it is and. So the combination is the 5th Lord has to be in the 6th house or 8th house or 12th house in debility, and 5th house should contain Mercury and Ketu. Then there is only one child. Sutesho nicha goyatra sutasthanam na pashyati tatra sauri budhau syatam kakabandhatvamapnuyat. Okay. Sutesho nichago yatra. If the 5th Lord is debilitated, where the 5th Lord is debilitated, Sutasthanam napashyati, and he is not aspecting 5th house. So 5th Lord has to be debilitated and not aspecting the 5th house. Which means if the 5th Lord is debilitated but still he is aspecting the 5th house, is basically a relief. So if that doesn't happen, then Tatra Sauri Budhau Syatam. And also 5th house contains Sauri and Budha. Do you know who they are? Sauri. Who is Sauri? Son of Sun. So Saturn. Saturn and Mercury are together in the 5th house. In the earlier verse it was Mercury and Ketu. Here it is Mercury and Saturn.
Mercury and Jupiter, right?
Pardon me? Earlier verse Ketu Budho. Mercury and Ketu. Oh, did I say Jupiter? My mistake. It's Mercury and Ketu. So if Mercury and Saturn are together in the 5th house and 5th house does not get aspected by the 5th lord and 5th lord is debilitated, not necessarily in a Dusthana, then also he says there will be only one child. So basically one thing seems to be that 5th house contains Mercury along with some malefic planet who usually deprive, like Saturn or Ketu. So then if one of the planets who deprive are together with Mercury, it seems to be bad. But because of Mercury's presence, it seems like there is one child, but Saturn and Ketu are restricting to just one. It's not more. But again, if the 5th lord is strong, he can override this. Even though Saturn and Ketu are in the 5th house with Mercury, 5th lord can override it if he is strong. On the other hand, if the 5th lord is also weak, he is in a Dusthana or he is not aspecting the 5th house to rescue it, or he is debilitated, then basically seems to be bad. Now, suppose he is not debilitated, but he is afflicted by malefics in the 8th house. Probably a similar result holds good.
Not in 8th house. Okay.
Let's say 5th lord is in the 8th house or 6th house,
Not debilitated.
and not necessarily debilitated, but with a malefic, with a functional malefic. Because that was mentioned earlier. So you can basically judiciously mix various criteria, as long as you understand what is good and what is bad. So in this combination also, there is only one child. The next verse 7 is Bhagyesho Murti Varti Chet Bhagyesho Murti Varti Chet Sutesho Nichago Jadi Sute Ketu Budhau Syatam Sutam Kashtad Vinirdishet. Okay. Bhagyesho means
11.
the 9th lord. Murti Varti Chet. Murti means body, the shape, overall shape. So it's basically, it seems to be in the 1st house. He's talking about a house. So when you are talking about the overall shape of the person, you are talking about Lagna. So Murtivarti means Lagna, gone into Lagna. So 9th lord is in Lagna. If 9th lord is in Lagna, what does it mean? Of course it means some kind of fortune, but the thing is, with respect to child, what is the link? Think about it. Let me finish the next line. Sutesho nichago yadi. If the 5th lord is debilitated, so 5th lord being debilitated, is it good for getting a children or not? Child or not?
Not good.
Yeah, it's not good. And also Sute Ketu Budhau Syatam. In the 5th house, there are Mercury and Ketu. So this is all basically bad combinations. But the blessing is if the 9th lord is in Lagna, where is A5? Yeah, where is A9? The Bhagyapada. It's in the 5th house of children. So the house of children contains Bhagyapada. What is Bhagyapada? It shows, oh, he is lucky. It's basically a tangible manifestation of somebody's luck. So the fact that A9 is in 5th house, can there be some fortune, tangible fortune relating to children? Yes. So because of the rest of the combinations, it seems like there are no children, but just this combination can basically come to the rescue and there can be a child. With Kashtad Vinirdishet, after a lot of problems, they won't get a child and they will do remedies, they may go to pilgrimages or they may go through some treatment. So after a lot of trouble, finally there is a child. Which is, then people will think, oh, they didn't get a child, but finally, thank God they got a child. So that is basically the blessing of A9. Similarly, if A9 is in 10th house in somebody's chart, as far as career is concerned, he will be seen as a lucky person. So there may be some problems in the career, but finally the career may be in a good position and people may say he is very lucky. So here, despite the negative combinations, the fact that A9 is in 5th house, of course Parasara doesn't say in those terms, but that is what basically it means. 9th lord being in Lagna, that is basically what it means as far as children are concerned. So the lesson from this is, if A9 is in a particular house, it is a blessing to that house, naturally.
A9 or ninth lord?
A9. Yeah, ninth lord is in Lagna, but the blessing came to fifth house here. Why? Because A9 is in the fifth house. Okay. Okay, next one. Sastha, verse 8. षष्ठाष्टमव्ययस्थो वा नीचो वा शत्रुराशिगः सुतेशस्य सुते तस्य कष्टात् पुत्रं विनिर्दिशेत् षष्ठाष्टमव्ययस्थो वा नीचो वा शत्रुराशिगः सुतेशस्य सुते तस्य सुतेशस्य सुते तस्य कष्टात् पुत्रं विनिर्दिशेत्. This is weird. This is really weird. षष्ठाष्टम व्ययस्थो वा नीचो वा शत्रुराशिकः सुतेशश्च सुते तस्य कष्टात् पुत्रं विनिर्दिशेत्. This is very untypical of atypical. Why would he say that? So obviously there is more than what meets the eye. Let's see how he translated. If the fifth lord is in the 6th, 8th or the 12th, or be in an inimical sign, or be in fall, or in the 5th itself, the native will beget issues with difficulty. Okay. See, the thing is suteshascha sutetasya. There he used the word cha, which means and. He basically translated as three. There are three clauses here. One is sashtashtama vyayastho. In the 6th or 8th or 12th. Nicho means debilitated. Saturasika means in an inimical sign. Suteshascha sute. Sutesha means fifth lord. Cha sute means and in the fifth house. So it seems to suggest, if you just forget astrology, just translate it as a standard Sanskrit verse. It basically means if the fifth lord is in the fifth house and he is either debilitated or in inimical sign or in 6th or 8th or 12th. That is what it means. That is what it should be translated as ideally, but it doesn't make sense. Because if the fifth lord is in fifth house, he will obviously not be in an inimical sign, unless he considers himself to be his own enemy. No planet is its own enemy.
How will it be in 6th, 8th or
For me, that is also the thing, and also he won't be in debility. So this is a little tricky to interpret. I'm not fully happy with his interpretation. And also, if you look at his interpretation, if the fifth lord is in 6th or 8th or 12th, if the fifth is also to be covered in the same breath, he would have said 5th, 6th, 8th or 12th there, right? He said either in the 6th, 8th or 12th, or in debility, or in inimical sign, or in 5th. The 5th doesn't seem to belong there. You see what I am saying? 6th, 8th and 12th are bad. Inimical sign is bad.
Is it and or is it like or condition? Or condition can fit in, right? It can be in fifth lord in debility, or fifth lord in 6th, 8th, 12, or fifth lord in inimical sign,
Or fifth lord in 5th.
or fifth lord.
Yeah, but if that is the case, what I am saying is, you are saying, okay, either Seshu is hungry, or Seshu is mad, or Seshu is angry, or Seshu just had a big setback, or Seshu is in a great mood. Then this problem will come. It doesn't seem to make any sense. You understand what I am saying? This is kind of like that.
Condition.
Pardon me?
The contradictory condition.
Contradictory condition. Actually, that are very similar. In an inimical sign, being in debility, being in 6th, 8th and 12th, these are all bad. Just like I said, Seshu is thirsty or hungry, angry, all these fit together. But if you say or Seshu is in the presence of Ramakrishna Rao,
Or great mood.
or Seshu is watching his favorite movie or doing his favorite mantra. If I say that, it doesn't seem to make sense. So let's see. Let's think once more.
So what is the net result? I mean,
The net result is tasya kashtat putram virdishet.
You have difficulty with
Then with difficulty child is born. He is saying child is born, but with difficulty. Okay. Okay. No. Sashtasana yastova nichova. चतुष्टाश्रम व्यवस्थो वा नीचो वा चतुराधिक सुतेश. Okay, this is I will tend to interpret this as just the fifth lord in 6th, 8th or 12th are in debility, are in inimical sign, then there will be trouble getting a child. That suteshasya sute, that doesn't seem to make sense. There is something missing there. It could, for example, be sutesha having all these previous conditions and maybe some good planet in the 5th house, like maybe Jupiter in the 5th house, or there may be some word basically missing there. The second line is having some error. So there is some rider basically. Otherwise, if the 5th lord is satisfying one of the 3 conditions we mentioned, Hindusthana or debility or inimical sign, is basically a bad condition. There must be some rider to lift the condition up. So we will leave that basically like that. Leave that on the note that there is something missing, something amiss in the second line. The next verse is Putra bhave buddha kshetre manda kshetre thava punah. Putra bhave buddha kshetre manda kshetre thava punah. Mande manti yutai drushte. Mande manti yutair drushte. Tada dattadayah sutah. Okay. Putra bhave buddha kshetre means if the 5th house is in Buddha Kshetra, means a sign owned by Mercury, Gemini or Virgo. If the 5th house is Gemini or Virgo, or Manda Kshetra Thava Punaha means, or a Saturn house. So Capricorn or Aquarius. So 5th house falls in either Gemini or Virgo or Capricorn or Aquarius. Mande Mandi Yutair Drushte. And mande mandi yutair drushte, not yute, mande mandi yute drushte. Okay. And Saturn or Mandi. Mande mandi yute drushte. Okay. If Saturn is along with Mandi and he aspects the 5th house, or maybe occupies it. So Saturn has to be with Mandi and he should either conjoin or aspect the 5th house, in addition to 5th house being a Saturnine or Mercurial sign. Then Tada Dattadayah Sutah. Then there is Dattaputra Yoga. That means the person will have an adopted child. So in general, Saturn and Mercury seem to be favorable for adaptation. They are the key planets for adaptation. Why? Yeah, Saturn and Mercury. Why are they key planets for adaptation? They are Napunsaka planets. They are basically neutral planets. That is one reason. And in general, Saturn will deprive, and Mercury, though he doesn't deprive, he himself had a Dattaputra Yoga. He himself was Dattaputra. He was born to Tara of Moon, and then he was adopted by Jupiter, and he was basically raised by Jupiter. So perhaps Mercury is included there. And in addition, like she said, they are basically Napunsaka planets. So that is the reason. And in addition, Manda and Mandi, Saturn and his son, they seem to be important for not having real parents, basically being away from the real parents and being adopted by somebody else. So that is Mandi. Now Mandi, you can find it in the software. The one point that I want to mention is Mandi is slightly controversial. How you find Mandi, when it comes to how you find Mandi, there are different opinions. Parashara, my judgment after reading Parashara is Mandi and Gulika are the same. They are not two different planets. That is how Parashara has used in a few places. But Sanjay ji seems to think that Mandi and Gulika are two different entities. So there is one theory that Mandi and Gulika are two different entities. There is another theory that they are actually the same. And as far as the definition is concerned, how to find Gulika, that Parashara very unambiguously taught. However, it's basically in the eighth, he rises in the eighth portion. We'll probably do that later, but you have it in the software. But Sanjay ji uses a different definition. The definition Sanjay ji uses is different from what Parasara taught, and the default I believe is what Parasara taught if you just download the Jehora. So there is some controversy. So I don't have a final word on how to find Mandi, how to find Gulika, whether they are the same or not. But my view is they are the same and they are found as Parasara defined Gulika's computation in a previous chapter.
Gulika and Mandi for two different things, like one use poison and one.
Yes, that is Sanjay ji's teaching. Yes, I was just transmitting the teaching. But I am now mentioning that there is another view, another well-considered view that actually they are the same. They are just two different names. If he says, for example, he may say Shani in one verse, Manda in another verse. They are basically the same. They are just equivalent. Similarly, Mandi and Gulika are considered to be synonyms. That is one view. The other view is that they are different. But the thing is, Parasara has not defined how to find Mandi, but he used the word Mandi basically in several places. But he defined how to find Gulika, and if you actually go to, I think it's in the Upagraha chapter, which is, does anybody know where it is? Yeah, Gulika's position. Yeah, here he says, Ravivaradi, if you go to chapter 3, verse 66, Ravivaradi Sanjantam Gulika Nirupyate Devasanashtada Bhaktva Vare Jhat Ganayet Kramat Ashtamoancho Nishasya Sanjancho Gulika Smratah Ratrimapyashtadha Kratva Vare Jhat Panchamaditah Ganayedashtamah Khando Nishyati Parikirtitah Sanjancho Gulika Prokto Ravyansya Kalasamgnakah Bhaumancho Mrutyuradishto Gurvancho Yamaghantakah Saumyanshodha Praharakah Swaspadeshodbhava Sphuta. So what he's saying is, wherever the person is born, at that place, you divide the day and night into 8 parts. Day means sunrise to sunset, that is day. Sunset to the next sunrise is night. So divide that into 8 equal parts. Okay? And when you do that, they are ruled by 8 planets. Actually 7 planets, the 8th one is unruled. They start with the ruler of the weekday. For example, today is Monday. So if you take the day, the first, approximately if you say 12 hours is day, 12 hours is night, which is not true. But if you approximate like that, then 1.5 hours is each division. So from sunrise, let's say it was at 6 o'clock. So 6 to 7:30 is moon. Okay. So he is saying, Ravivara Sanjantam Gulika Nirupita Devasana Vareshat Ganayet Kramat. So start from the Varalat and go in the order. Kramat means order. Which order? If you start from the Varalat, it should be in the Vara order, obviously. So Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn. And then after Saturn, the 8th one is Nirisha. That means there is no Lord for it. So it's basically an unlorded portion, the 8th portion. And after that, you go to Sun. This is during the daytime. If you take the night, you start from the fifth from the planet. So Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, right? Venus is the 5th one. So start from Venus. So the first 1.5 is Venus, second 1.5 is Saturn, third 1.5 is the 8th portion, empty portion. And then Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter. So this is the order. So when you write in this order, there are basically upagrahas associated with these planets. For example, for Sun it is Kala, for Mars it is Mrityu, for Guru it is Yamaghantaka, for Mercury it is Ardha Praharaka. So like that he defined various upagrahas for each planet, and for Shani it is Gulika or Mandi, for Shani's portion. And also in the next verse he says, Gulikeshta Vashal Lagnam Sputam Yat Swasvadeshwajam Gulikam Prochete Tasmat Jatakasya Phalam Vadet. So when the Gulika's portion, which is basically Saturn's portion, the 7th portion, when that portion starts, the longitude at that time is basically the longitude of Gulika for that whole day. So when the Saturn's portion starts, you take the beginning the beginning time of that portion and see what is the lagna, what is rising at that time. Gulika will be rising at that time. When Saturn's portion starts, Gulika will be rising in the east, the Upagraha. So that is Parasara's definition. But
Saturn, when you say that is in the daytime or night time?
both the times.
Both times. When
If you are talking about the daytime chart, use the daytime. If you are talking about the nighttime chart, use the nighttime.
Person born in daytime, then
You use the daytime portion. If he is born in the nighttime, use the nighttime.
nighttime portion.
Yeah.
And if it happens to start with Saturn, then that's where the use will be.
Yeah, that is one view. You can even give another view, which is, see, Gulika was rising. Gulika was when the Shani's portion started, Gulika rose, and then he stayed there. And then when Shani's portion starts in the night, until then he stays there, and then from then onwards he changes his position. He rises at this new position. You understand what I am saying? And then from the beginning of Shani's portion in the night to the beginning of Shani's portion on the next day during the daytime, he will basically stay in that position. That is another view. Instead of saying that he changes position at sunrise and sunset, you can say that he changes position when Shani's portion starts. You could say the same thing about all Upagrahas. Unfortunately, this is an interpretation that I had in mind but did not put in software. So this interpretation is not available in the software, but this is actually very logical. So I should add it in the software. But the interpretation that is currently there in the software is, if it is a daytime birth, use the daytime definition. If it is a nighttime birth, use the nighttime definition. Even if the definition happens to come at a point of time in the future. Suppose somebody is born at 8 o'clock today morning in the daytime. Suppose Saturn's portion starts at 3:30 in the evening. Still, we look at the Lagna rising at 3:30, we place Saturn, we place Mandi there, Gulika there. That is the definition we use. And now, Sanjay ji seems to think that the 8th portion is Gulika's portion. He seems to think that Sun, Moon, Mars, etc., Saturn, these are the 7 weekday lords. The 8th one, which doesn't have a lord, that is Gulika, he seems to think. Whereas Parasara said he rises in Shani's portion. Just like Kala rises in Sun's portion, Yamaghantaka rises in Jupiter's portion, Ardhapraharka rises in Mercury's portion, and Mrityu rises in Mars' portion, Gulika rises in Saturn's portion. There is no difference. He is just an offspring of those planets, just like the other Upagrahas. So that is what Parasara taught, but Sanjay ji takes the 8th portion. So I have added that in the software. You can say, you can choose either Saturn's portion or the 8th portion. Also you can choose the beginning or middle or end of the portion, because Sanjay ji seems to think out of these Gulika and Mandi, one rises in the middle, one rises in the beginning, like that. He basically has a different definition. So for both of them you can choose that definition. Even for other Upagrahas, you can choose middle, end or beginning in my software. But probably it is the beginning of the portion. And probably what I just mentioned, basically start at that time. If Shani's portion starts at 3:30 in the, let's say today daytime, and let's say it starts at 10:30 in the night, and again let's say it starts at 1 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow, then from 3:30 to 10:30 it is at that particular longitude, from 10:30 to next day 1:30 p.m. it is in the second longitude, and so on. So that interpretation I will add to the software. That is something worth experimenting with.
But where do we use the Gulika Mandi terms? We have never used that other than they being a negative planet.
Yeah, you can use them for being negative planets. You can even use Dasha started with the Mandi's longitude. There is a Vinchotri Dasha starting with Mandi's longitude. You can use it there. And also Yamaghantaka and Ardhapraharka, there are some combinations given by Parasara, which we will cover later. When you are looking at stock markets, etc., financial matters, those two planets, Ardhapraharka and Yamaghantaka, are very important. So you could, maybe there isn't a worthwhile research because people are not using the right definition, you know. Maybe sometimes it is right, sometimes it is wrong, but it's not reliable. Anyway, this is an area, Upagrahas are an area where some more work needs to be done. Unfortunately, I myself didn't have enough time to work on this, but I have some thoughts. Bottom line is, I disagree with Sanjay ji simply because Parasara said otherwise. Not because I have done thorough research and I am convinced. In this particular matter, I haven't. Okay. The next verse 10. Ravichandrau Ravichandro yadaikastha vakansa kasamanvitau. Ravichandro yadaikastha vakansa kasamanvitau. Trimatrubhirasau yadva vipitra picha poshitah. Oh gosh. Okay. Ravichandro yadaikasthau. Yada yakasthau. Ravichandro yada yakasthau means sun and moon are yakasthau means together in the same sign. Yakansaka samanvitau and in the same navamsa. Actually navamsa, dvasamsa we are not sure, or satamsa we are not sure. So he is saying if sun and moon are in the same sign and same navamsa or same amsha, whether navamsa, dvasamsa, satamsa we don't know, same amsha. Trimatrubhi asau yadva, trimatrubhi asau yadva, dvitrapi cha poshitah.
By 3 mothers.
Yeah, the person is poshitah means brought up, nourished, nurtured. The person is nurtured by 3 mothers or 2 fathers. Basically, there are too many parents. One too many parents in that case. It's basically sun and moon are together in Rashi and Navamsa. But the thing is, we are talking about the 5th house and children. Suddenly he is jumping to parents. He is jumping to the happiness with respect to parents. So, sun is the natural father and moon is the natural mother. And if they are together, basically Samavasya Yoga. Sun and moon, if they are in the same Rashi Navamsa, we are talking about Amavasya. It may be Amavasya or Pratipat, but the thing is we are talking about the perfect new moon point, perfect no moon point. We are talking a little this way or that way from that point. So basically we are talking about the weakest moon. And moon is important for being nourished by parents. So when you have this Amavasya dosha, it may show some misfortune with respect to parents and nourishment from the parents.
And for that child or for the native that we are looking at?
For the native.
For the native, his parents...
The native who has sun and moon together in the same Rashi or Navamsa, that native will have this result. That is why I was saying, it doesn't really belong here. It basically belongs somewhere else. So the fact that he is talking about the 5th house, you could, I'm just speculating here. The fact that he mentioned this verse in the 5th house, he is probably hinting that this combination, if it occurs in the 5th house, or if they are affecting the 5th house, if there is a link to the 5th house with this combination, then maybe the child born, not the native, but the child born will have multiple parents. In other words, maybe this person will get married again, maybe the wife will pass away and he will marry again, and this particular child whose lagna in the Saptamsa, let us say in the Saptamsa 5th house shows the first child, and 5th house has sun and moon, and let's say they are in the same Rashi and same Saptamsa, then maybe it means that child, that particular child will get a different mother. This person will have to get a new wife. That is basically speculation. That is a possibility. Maybe there is some deeper meaning like that. That is why he mentioned it in this chapter. Otherwise, mentioning this in this chapter doesn't make sense. We will go to the next verse. Same Rashi and same. Yeah, okay. If you have a chart, see if this combination applies. Which interpretation of this combination makes more sense. Just try to do some research. The next verse is more straightforward. Panchame shargara hair-yukte tadise vyayarashige lagne shendu baladjau chet tada datta sutodbhavah. Okay. Panchame shargara hair-yukte. There are 6 planets in the 5th house. Tadise vyayarashige. And the lord of that house goes into the 12th house. Okay. So 5th house has 6 planets, and the 5th lord is in the 12th house. Then what? Then what is the result given? Actually, that is not all. Lagnesha Indu Baladhyau chet. Lagnesha and Indu means Lagna Lord and Moon are Baladhyau, means they are strong. So Lagna Lord and Moon are strong. Fifth house is endowed with 6 planets. Fifth house is occupied by 6 planets, and but the fifth lord is in the 12th house. Then Tada Datta Sutodbhava. Then there is a Datta Suta. There is an adopted child. Adopted child combination occurs from it. So why? Why is this so? Pardon? Fifth lord is so happy with respect to children.
Basically, the child is displaced.
Okay, it can show child is displaced, or also based on the previous directives from Parashara, fifth lord in a Dusthana is not good for fifth house, right? And fifth house has too many planets. Is that good? Well, fifth house has so many planets, so there should be lot of children. Can we say like that?
But
Not necessarily.
not necessarily.
I just want to. Pardon me?
Duryogas also.
Yeah, there will be good yogas as well as good yogas in that case. It's a mixed bag always.
And then malefic and benefic.
You'll have a lot of malefic.
You will have malefics as well as benefics. So it's a mixed bag. And the thing is, it's basically mixed agendas. It's like too many cooks spoiling the broth. So it's not really a, materially speaking, 6 planets together in any house is not good for that house. Actually, 6 planets in a house, in a quadrant from Lagna, can give Vairagya, can make somebody a sannyasi. So similarly, taking the 5th house as Lagna, 6 planets in a quadrant here. So basically, it gives Vairagya as far as children are getting a child is concerned. So it's not really a conducive combination. And 5th lord being in 12th house is also not conducive. But Lagna Lord and Moon are strong. So in general, he is a lucky person. He is very happy. So in this case also, the result given by Parashara is there is an adopted child.
Person can make up mind to adopt it.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And also in this case, where is the Putrapada? In this particular case, where is the Putrapada? Because Putrapada is the tangible manifestation of children. Where is A5? Fifth lord is in 12th house. 7th house. So A5 is in the 7th house. Everybody got it? So fifth lord is in 8th from 5th. So taking the 8th from 12th, you get 7th. So fifth lord A5 is in 7th house. The Putrapada is in 7th house. The tangible manifestation of getting children. If it is in the 7th house, what does it mean? And first of all, it's in the 7th house, and it has Argala from all those planets. There are 6 planets in the fifth house. No, 11th house Argala. So all those planets have 11th house Argala. Maybe there will be 1 or 2 Rahu or Ketu. That planet will be there, which will actually obstruct the Argala. But hopefully 5 or 6 out of those 6 planets will have a normal Argala, not Virodha Argala. So even if there is a Virodha Argala, overall there is a very strong Argala on A5. So when so many planets are affecting the 5th house and having Argala on A5, more importantly, there has to be some tangible manifestation of children. So there will be children despite the negative combinations that are mentioned. And it is in the 7th house. If A5 is in the 7th house, it is coming of children is possible because of not business, that's actually a bad word, basically interaction with people. So you are getting a child through an interaction with some people. So you go and talk to people and then adopt a child. The next verse, the 12th verse. Sute Gnajiva Shukraischa Sabalairavalokite Bhavanti Bahva Putrah Sute Shehi Balanvite. Okay. Sute Gnajiva Shukraischa. Sute means if the 5th house. Gna means Gna. Gna means the learned one, the one who knows. Who is the one who knows? Mercury. Jiva. Who is the Jiva? The life force. Jupiter. Jupiter. We usually use the word Jiva for Lagna. Jupiter. Yes, basically Jupiter and Lagna Lord, there is a correspondence. Both of them show intelligence, so it's a good guess. So Jiva is the word normally used for Jupiter, and Gna is the word normally used for Mercury. Similarly, Kavi is the word normally used for Venus. Anyway, he used the word Shukra here. Najiva Shukraischa. So, fifth house contains Mercury, Jupiter and Venus. Sabalair Avalokite. Sabalail Avalokite means Sabalaihi. Sabalaihi means strong. All of them are endowed with strength. Avalokite. Sute Najiva Shukraischa Sabalaihi Avalokite. Oh, actually, sorry. I don't know why I said occupied. It says Sute, if the fifth house, Najiva Shukraischa by Mercury, Jupiter and Venus, Sabalaihi, strong ones, Avalokite, aspected. So it means fifth house is aspected by Mercury, Jupiter and Venus, not necessarily together. Yeah, but the thing is, we always consider occupancy as a kind of aspect. So Mercury, Jupiter and Venus have to be strong and either occupying or aspecting the fifth house. Is that all? There is another thing. Sute sehi balanvite. The fifth lord is also strong. So now let's what is the result, by the way? Bhavanti Bahavaha Putraha means many children are produced. So if the fifth lord is strong and the fifth house is aspected or occupied by strong natural benefits, Mercury, Jupiter and Venus, then there are many children for the person. The next verse, verse 13. Yeah, actually we'll do one thing. We'll stop here. We'll continue. We'll stop on 12. Dvadhadityas. We'll finish it. We'll continue next class. We'll do an example now. I'll restart. Thank you for the book. No. Why? Okay. So we will do some example. Actually, before one example, I just want to mention one thing. This, in a couple of days, basically, actually today is Amavasya. I think from tomorrow the Vaisakha Masa will start, the month of Vaisakha, and Thursday is New Year. Thursday is Akshaya Tritiya. It's basically the Shukla Tritiya of the Vaisakha month. That's known as Akshaya Tritiya. That's the day when Ganga came to earth. According to the legend, Ganga basically descended from the heavens to earth. And it is also the day when Parshurama was born. It is also the day when Treta Yuga started. It is a very auspicious day for praying. It's basically a day of ultimate purity. It's the day when there will be a lot of purity. The quality of time is one of great purity. Actually, if you see all these Indian channels, ZTV, Sony TV, Gemini, Teja, all these Hindi and Telugu channels, you will see a lot of advertisements for buying gold.
Right.
There is a modern tradition basically of buying gold on this Akshaya Tritiya day, but traditionally it had nothing to do with buying gold. It was a day of just purity, and whatever spiritual sadhana you do on that day, the results will be 100-fold or 1,000-fold according to the Shastras. Basically they say that on that day when Ganga descends to earth, all the gods and rishis descend to earth. From the heavens they are all basically hanging around above earth. In other words, whatever pujas you do, whatever homas you do, whatever sadhana you do, it will give results faster because it will fall in, whoever you are praying to is basically right there. So they are listening to you. Whereas other times it may not be even reaching them, your prayers. So they say that this particular day, actually starting from this day around a period of 10 days or 2 weeks is very auspicious for prayers or meditation or religious sadhana. This is a very, very auspicious time. Forget the muhurta, which may or may not work out, but that particular day, the Tritiya day is very, very auspicious. And second day, the other day, Rishi Panchami, the Saturday, the fifth Shukla Panchami of Vaisakha month, that's known as Rishi Panchami. So it basically falls on Saturday. It starts on Friday evening and it ends around 2:40 p.m. or so, Boston time, on Saturday. So Saturday is the day. So these 2 days, Thursday and Saturday, are auspicious for prayers, and in general the next couple of weeks are really, really auspicious. And also for those of you who are interested in the Gayatri Mantra, this Sunday is a very auspicious day to do heavy Gayatri sadhana, because Sunday will start with Shashti, but later Saptami will come in the afternoon in Boston time, if you are in Boston. So, or if you are in California, it will come even earlier. So, it's basically a combination of Sunday and Saptami, which is very auspicious for praying to Sun. Saptami is a favorite tithi of Sun, and Sunday is Sun's tithi. And also the nakshatra, in the afternoon the nakshatra will be Punarvasu. When I saw this Punarvasu, I remembered. Punarvasu is the nakshatra owned by Aditi, who is Sun's mother. Sun is Aditya, right? So his mother's nakshatra is a very sattvic nakshatra, it's a favorite tithi, favorite vara, and this happens in the Vaishakha Masa. This is basically just a couple of days after Tritiya, Akshaya Tritiya and Rishpanchami. So this particular Sunday afternoon is a very, very auspicious time. If you do Gayatri Mantra regularly, you can basically do increase count. If you do 10 malas every day, maybe you can do 20 malas or 30 malas that afternoon. It will be very, very powerful. Extremely good time. Okay.
Not that.
What? The release? Okay.
Release the book.
Yeah. Actually, Akshaya Tritiya is a very good day.
But that's too short a time to complete it.
Okay. Okay, you guys work it out.
We will do the best.
Yeah. Even Rishpanchami is a very good day, but again it may be short. You guys work it out. Okay. So, any examples that you want to see in the next 40 minutes?
No, today's chart that we are talking about is
Yeah.
there's another.
Are you able to see? Yeah. Which one?
It will be called as not that.
This one? No. This one?
Go to
Open.
Marriage problem skill.
Is it here in the history?
It's not there.
Okay.
Go to marriage problem.
Oops. No. Where is it? Is it in old TTA, old LT data or data?
Data.
Marriage Mukti. Marriage problem. Marriage Mukti.
Yeah, they got it.
Marriage problem still. Okay.
Is it there?
Yeah, it is there. Okay, let me just repeat the data. December 11, 1976, 1:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time, 5 hours 30 minutes east of GMT, Bangalore, India, 77 degrees 35 minutes east, 12 degrees 59 minutes north.
Like that.
Yeah, I think it's the lighting. You badly spoiled it. No, you are going in the wrong direction, I think. Oh, actually, no. Oh, no. It was like big positive feedback. So that needs to be correct. So, what is the question about this chart?
The question is, this is the husband of the girl that we discussed 2 weeks back.
Okay, this is the husband of a girl that we discussed a couple of weeks back, it seems. Okay.
And they are not living together and they got married in 2005.
Oh, I remember.
Remember?
Yeah, is this the person? Is this the woman, girl, or boy?
No, this is the boy.
This is the boy. Is this the one who doesn't have a stable career and they cheated? They said he has a good job, but he doesn't.
Doesn't correct.
Okay.
So the question still was, I given them the feedback of what it is.
Yeah.
But the question was, how this is the boy. They gave me this boy's data and then said, can you have a look at this boy's data and then tell if they are kind of mentally prepared for a divorce.
Yeah.
But they just want to make up mind and then get an opinion and then go from there.
Okay.
But they want an answer.
What do they want from this chart? What do they want to see in
the
this
boy
chart?
really in that category that they are feeling that the boy cheated them and
So they feel that the boy cheated them. Or
if there is any
there should be some benefit of doubt to be given to him.
correct.
And probably also they are interested in seeing whether there is some chance of at least having a stable career and settling down in life, or whether he will be like this forever. In which case they are seriously interested in divorce, and they are probably also interested in seeing the prospects of divorce in this Navamsa. Okay. So the Lagna is 15 degrees 49 minutes Pisces, 50 minutes Cancer. Okay.
Kind of, because what we did yesterday was
You didn't save any notes. So when was the marriage?
Around 2005, I don't know the month.
Around 2005.
Mid 2005.
Mid 2005 was the marriage. What is the dasha to be applied? Just Vimshotri, right?
It's regular Vimshotri.
Regular Vimshotri dasha. So 2005 he got married in Venus dasha. He said around 2005. So we don't know for sure.
2005, so we were thinking about Venus Mars.
Don't, if you know, then we can look at Antardasha. If you don't know the date, there's no point in looking at Antardasha, right?
From Einstein we know the date, right? We know the date.
Yeah, from no, we don't know yet.
Okay, he doesn't know the date, but around 2005 he got married. So it's probably Venus Mars, in which case it makes decent sense. Venus is the 7th lord in the Navamsha and Mars is the Lagna lord. And even if it is Moon, basically Moon is the 9th lord. So these are all capable of giving marriage. So let us say, at least because Venus Mahadasha gave the marriage, let's say that Navamsa Lagna is accurate. In any case, this is basically in the middle of the Navamsa. It requires 8 minutes 15 seconds backward correction or 2 minutes 47 seconds forward correction to change the Navamsa Lagna. So probably we are safe. This Navamsa Lagna of Scorpio is accurate. So we will proceed with that assumption.
We looked at the
But Dashamsa will be on the border.
right, we looked
Dashamsa should be on the border because Lagna is in 15 degrees 47 minutes. So let's go to Dashamsa to see his career.
2 minutes earlier.
Okay, 2 minutes 44 seconds earlier it will change and that will not affect the Navamsa Lagna. If the Lagna goes below 15 degrees, Navamsa Lagna remains the same but Dashamsa changes. So,
But we felt in the Dashamsa changing it to 2 minutes earlier, that makes more sense from the way they described.
okay,
carrier.
the way they describe Seshu is saying compared to Aries Dashamsa Lagna, Pisces makes more sense. Let us see if that is the case. The Dasha running right now is Venus Dasha, okay. What is the career he has right now? What is his job?
He is working for some contracting company for GE.
For GE.
Contracting company of GE.
Okay, he is working for a contracting company for GE and what kind of work?
I think some kind of technical work must be if, from the amount that they mentioned, maybe some assembly line or something.
Okay, he does some technical work, some assembly line or something Seshu guesses. Some routine job basically. That is what Seshu thinks. And he doesn't make a lot of money and his in-laws were not happy, they felt cheated. Okay. If it is Aries Lagna, the 7th lord Jupiter, the 10th lord Saturn is basically in exaltation. But he is retrograde and he is in the 7th house. But more importantly, basically he is not too badly placed, he is in a quadrant.
Right, he's with A5.
He is with A5, he is in a quadrant, he is exalted despite the Uchabhanga, and the 10th house contains the 9th lord, a functional benefic and also a natural benefic Jupiter. And he is, though he is retrograde, though he is debilitated, he is retrograde. So there is Nichabhanga, equivalent of exaltation. So 9th lord in exaltation in the 10th house, a functional benefic and natural benefic in 10th house. So and 10th lord in a Kendra. It should basically be decent. The career should be reasonably fine. It doesn't really make sense that he is struggling. Also the routine job maybe from Saturn, but still the strong Jupiter should give some kind of respected position in society. So if you change it, so maybe Seshu's guess that it is previous sign is right. To me also that makes sense. So can I save it? Or I'll just leave it? Okay, I'll just save it. And let us say, what was the original time?
1:30 p.m.
Oops. Original time 1:30 p.m. Changed based on T10. Whenever you work on a chart, just write some quick notes, like couple of sentences, because when you revisit this 10 years later, maybe 10 years later you will be writing a book and you want examples. You will have hundreds of examples in your computer, but you don't remember anything of them, so they will be useless to you. So just keep couple of lines of notes whenever you make a chart. It doesn't take too long. It will be useful later. Yeah. So Lagna contains, now how is the 10th lord? The 10th lord is in the 11th house. Again that is a good placement. For the 10th lord to be in the 11th house is a good placement.
But 10th house is occupied by 12th lord.
Right, I am coming to that. But the 10th house is occupied by 12th lord Rahu. So if Dusthana lord, that too a natural malefic is in 10th house, is it good for the career? No, it is not good for the career. And what else?
That too the aspect that these people felt cheated, that makes sense because it is Rahu.
Okay.
No,
But the thing is, that is not really Dashamsa. They felt cheated in the marriage basically, in the marital relationship.
No, not
He cheated based on his career.
No, because they felt that this boy was, they were given an opinion that this boy was earning something like 50,000 whereas it's like 5,000. So that's where the thing started. That they
Okay, but the thing is, you don't necessarily see it from Dashamsa. See, what Seshu is saying is, they said that he was making $50,000, but he was actually making only 50,000 rupees, but he was only making 5,000 rupees, off by a factor of 10. So, the cheating, he thinks that Rahu will explain it. But the thing is, Rahu explains cheating in your workplace. You say that, I will do this, I'll do this job, but you don't do it. You take a contract and say, I'll deliver it, but you don't deliver it. Then Rahu makes sense. So, this has nothing to do with that. When it came to marriage, as far as the marital proposal is concerned, they basically cheated. To get married, they cheated. That you see from Rashi and Navamsa. We'll do that later. But let us ignore that fact. But still, Rahu in the 10th house shows some hardware, some assembly lines, etc. Some dealing with big machinery is a possibility with Rahu in the 10th house. With a Dusthana lord and natural malefic in the 10th house, basically struggling in career, not having a great career, having an average career makes sense. And
also sun being like there is another thing that was any opportunities for job that are brought to him
yeah,
for a better position,
yeah.
he refuses them, seeking a managerial or supervisory or bigger roles, and he doesn't accept them.
So he has this attitude problem. He wants to be a big shot, a big manager. So because of that attitude problem, he is basically losing some opportunities. So Sun in Lagna can give that kind of attitude.
That too is a sixth lord. So
He is a Dusthana lord. Dusthana lord in Lagna is not so great for Lagna. Okay. In addition, apart from it,
A10, A9, everything in 12th house.
yes, that is the point I was looking at. So A9, the Bhagyapada, A10, the Rajapada, A4, the Sukhapada, all these things basically are in the initiative A3. They are all in the 12th house of loss. They are all getting ruined. So that is one big problem. So all those Arudhas falling in the 12th house is a very, very bad combination. And even A5 if you see, the Arudha Lagna if you see, the Arudha Lagna, the A5 recognition, they are all in the 9th house, but they are occupied by the 8th lord Venus. 8th lord, a functional malefic, is afflicting AL and A5. So basically, those Arudhas are being pulled down. So overall, there are enough weaknesses. Moreover, look at 10th house. Who occupies the 10th house? The 12th lord Rahu and Mrityupada. The A8. A8 is in the 10th house. Is it good for 10th house? It shows instability. A8 is instability or disappointments.
also in the Rashi, Saturn is with moon. Saturn, moon are in the first house.
Yeah, so?
So combination of moon, actually we are starting about the day.
Yeah.
Saturn and moon usually give some kind of mental instability.
Depression.
It can make the person prone to depression or lethargy, one of the two. But it has nothing to do with the career. Okay, any other points? Any other points?
In the Rashi chart, Lagna Lord and 9th Lord together.
In the Rashi chart?
Lagna Lord and 9th Lord, they are together.
Yes. It's good. Jupiter and Ketu are excellent in the Rashi chart. Jupiter and Ketu, there is no problem with them in the Rashi chart.
9th house is very strong.
But the thing is, see what is the Dasha running right now?
Venus.
Venus. Had it been Aries Dasha, Venus is basically a neutral planet. He is not really a great malefic. He is the 2nd and 7th lord. He would have given some money, being the 2nd lord. 8th house. Pardon me?
But Lagna Lord Jupiter in second house should also get money, right? From what we read in the second chapter.
Yeah.
Second house.
Yeah. That is true. But I am focusing on the current Dasha, Venus Dasha. I am saying in Dashamsha, if Aries was the Lagna, Venus would be 2nd and 7th Lord in the 8th house. Being 8th house is not so good, but his agenda is 7th house and 2nd house. Contacts, business, money. Those are his agenda, resources. So it wouldn't actually be such a bad Dasha. On the other hand, now, even though Venus is in the 9th house and in Arudha Lagna, he is a terrible malefic. Moreover, this is the 10th Lord and Lagna Lord are Jupiter. Venus is an enemy. And the Karaka for good position is Sun, and Sun is also in Lagna. Venus is enemy of that also, and his Dasha is running. So it is no wonder that the current period is not good for him. He is basically struggling. When Jupiter Dasha comes, if it comes, or when the Antardasha comes, he should do fine. Jupiter is not at all a bad planet in both Rashi and Dashamsha. But the Dasha running right now is not a good Dasha. So that is one thing. But actually I was hoping that one of you will say this. There is another really bad yoga in this Dashamsha. Once you move the Dashamsha Lagna to Pisces, there is one bad yoga. That yoga is enough to pull everything down. That yoga is there. What is that yoga? Anybody gets your eyes on that yoga? Yeah, minute. 60, 59. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. In Dashamsha, not in the Rashi. In Dashamsha, there is a bad yoga. Pardon me? What Kartari? Why Papakartari? Mercury is a benefic. There is Shubhakartari on the 10th house, on the other hand.
Is Amavasya Yoga with Rahu, Sun Moon axis?
Sun Moon axis is not Amavasya Yoga, sir. Sun and Moon together is Amavasya Yoga. Sun Moon, if they are together, is Purnima Yoga. It's not bad.
They are Purnima Yoga.
It's not, that's not what I was looking for. Look at quadrants. Who are in the quadrants? I had to give you clues now. Who are in the quadrants?
Just open the Dasha's window.
Pardon me?
Open the Dasha's window, we'll get it.
No, I'm saying in the quadrants. In the Dashamsha chart, see the planets who are in quadrants. What do you see with them?
Always in Rahu,
Sun, Rahu, Ketu, Moon. What is common to all of them? Natural malefics. Sun is a natural malefic, Rahu is a natural malefic, Ketu is a natural malefic, Moon in this chart is a natural malefic. Sarpa Yoga, you just need, you don't even need Moon. Just Sun, Rahu and Ketu in quadrants is enough. Sarpa Yoga. See, quadrants are very, very important, especially in Dashamsha, actually in any chart. So, if you see natural benefics or natural malefics in 3 different quadrants, you should pay attention to that. That is either Mala Yoga or Sarpa Yoga. If it is natural benefics in 3 quadrants, actually here there is a slight controversy. According to Sanjay ji, 3 benefics in quadrants is enough. Whether they are in 3 different signs or not doesn't matter. If 2 benefics are in one quadrant, another benefic is in another quadrant, he calls it Mala Yoga. Similarly, if 2 malefics are in one quadrant, the third malefic in another quadrant, he calls it Sarpa Yoga. But Parashara is very unambiguous that it's not 3 benefics or 3 malefics. It is 3 quadrants that should be occupied by benefics or malefics to give Mala Yoga, Sarpa Yoga. But anyway, here both Sanjay's definition and Parashara's definition are satisfied here. Parashara's definition is 3 quadrants are occupied by benefics, then Mala Yoga, good yoga. It's basically like a garland in your neck. 3 malefics 3 quadrants are occupied by malefics, then Sarpa Yoga. It's like a snake in your neck. So here, the first house, the 4th house and the 10th house, they are occupied by malefics. So, there is a Sarpa Yoga. So, whenever there is in that chart matter, it is as though you are coiled by a snake and not let go basically. The snake doesn't let you go. It just coils you and then it is always, okay, I want to bite you, You don't know what to do. Pardon me? Even if they are functional benefits. Actually, in this particular case, only Ketu is. Other two are functional male fixed. But for this yoga, Parasara uses the word Papa, uses the word Soumya, and so we are talking about natural male fixed and natural male fixed. Soumya and Krura.
Sanjay's definition you said.
Sanjay's definition is, it's actually, I don't know where he got it from, but it's definitely wrong. His definition is, it doesn't have to be 3 quadrants afflicted by malefics for Sarpa Yoga. 3 malefics in quadrants is enough to give Sarpa Yoga. So let's say Rahu and Sun are in Gemini and Ketu is in Sagittarius with Pisces Lagna. So there is Sun, Rahu and Ketu in quadrants, so Sarpa Yoga he says. But according to Parasara, that is not right. 3 quadrants. It's not 3 planets, but it is 3 signs containing bad planets or good planets.
How does the Sarpa Yoga differ from Kala Sarpa Yoga?
Kala Sarpa Yoga is totally different. That is all planets basically between Rahu and Ketu.
Apart from the combination.
That is a yoga that gets time in life. It's not really as terrible a yoga as people make it out to be. Kala Sarpa Yoga, it's a bad yoga, but there are various riders, and also it can get triggered at a late age and cause big changes in life. Whereas the Sarpa Yoga is as though you are coiled by a snake throughout your life. This is basically a lifelong yoga. Pardon me?
It's like Rasa Drishti.
Yeah, this is like Rasa Drishti. This is there all the time. So you should ignore that yoga, by the way. Luckily, no dasha corresponding to the Sarpa Yoga is running right now. So that is the blessing. I mean, a functional male is running, but it is better than Rahu Dasha running. Terrible for this person because. Oh, okay. So the Antardasha is terrible.
It's in fact now.
Yeah, I see that. It's not a good Antardasha. So, do you expect this person's problems to improve in the next couple of years? No. Actually, do you expect some stability and settling down in career in the next several years? No. As long as Venus Dasha is running, there may be ups and downs, but basically the baseline is determined by Venus, the 8th Lord. Pardon me?
Jupiter can give some break.
Jupiter Antardasha can give some break. Shubhakartar Yoga on the 10th house. Two natural benefics on either side of the 10th house. Venus in 9th, Jupiter in 11th. So because of that Shubhakartari on 10th house, when we May, it is a terrible time. Really terrible. The 8th Lord Dasha, planet in A8 Antardasha. So basically we say that at the Mahadasha level the Lordship is important, at Antardasha level the Arudhas are important, we keep saying, right? So 8th Lord Venus and A8 contains Rahu. So basically 8th house will give its full results during this time, both at the Mahadasha and Antardasha level. So time is terrible for this guy as far as career is concerned. So whether he is a cheat or whether he good intentionally the Dashamsa, but all I can say based on the Dashamsa is this person is unlikely to really have a successful career. He will struggle for a long time. There may be some temporary relief for a few years during 2009-2012, but overall till 2019 this is a so-so chart as far as career is concerned. Now let us see the marriage. Is there a chance of break in marriage now?
Lakshana in 8th house.
Okay, what do you think? The Dasha Antardasha right now is Rahu. Venus Dasha, Rahu Antardasha. Is Rahu Antardasha good for marriage or bad for marriage? Mm-hmm.
But being in the second house, the occupants of the second house become Marakas. Right?
Yeah. To who?
Hmm?
Occupants of second house become Maraka to who?
No, it is not in the-
Not only to Lagna, to the seventh house also. Second house is basically the house of second marriage. Second house is the house of second marriage.
Yeah, they can then show the break of second marriage, but not the first.
No, not break of second marriage. It can even give the second marriage. Not only the first marriage breaks, but the second marriage can also happen when a planet in the second house, Dasha and the Dasha runs.
But as a Maraka,
Yeah.
why will he give a positive result like a dharmic activity like a marriage?
No, I'm not saying he will. I'm saying in general, I'm saying second house planets can give second marriage and break off the first marriage. So here, okay, taking the seventh house as Lagna, just the marriage. Rahu is in the eighth house. And he is, moreover, this Rahu, forget all the lordships, etc. He is with Moon and Jupiter. Is it good? He is causing Chandra Chandala Yoga and Guru Chandala Yoga. So he is basically a bad planet. And what about Jupiter and Moon? Pardon me?
Moon is an
Fifth and ninth lords. Basically they show all the fortune. As far as marital life is concerned, all the fortune that is coming from previous life. Getting to be husband of a person from a particular family or person with certain samskaras. All that is basically Purva Punya. So Rahu is actually obstructing that. He is afflicting Jupiter and Moon. He is basically killing them, trying to kill them. So his fortune can come to an end. Is it possible? And marriage also can come to an end because from the seventh house is a Maraka. Moreover, yes.
To see the break of the first marriage, you would see the eighth house, right? That
Yeah,
is-
we'll come to that.
But you are considering the.
We'll come to that. Where is the eighth house?
Okay, the aspect eighth house.
He is aspecting it. He is aspecting the Rahu is aspecting the eighth house. He is also aspecting the eighth lord. Right? And moreover, how do you see marriage? I mean, how do you, what is the Arudha for marriage? Seventh house is good. That is also the truth basically. What is the Arudha for marriage? UL. Where is UL in Navamsha? Where is UL in Navamsha?
is in Leo.
It's in Leo. Who are the Marakas from it? What are the Marakasthanas from UL? Second and seven. Second and seven. Kanya and Virgo and Aquarius. Rahu owns Aquarius. So he is a Maraka. As far as UL is concerned, he is Maraka. In addition, from the seventh house, he is in Marakasthana. And he is aspecting the eighth house of separation. Right? Does it make sense? And apart from it, does he have any link with A8? Does he have any link with A8? Because A8 is the tangible break of marriage. If marriage breaks, 8th house of course has to come into play, but if tangibly world sees, okay, the marriage is gone, A8 has to be involved. It's not just 8th house aspect. Aspect of Rahu on the 8th house is not enough. There has to be a link with A8. Do you understand? Venus, he is the A8 lord, so he has some link. So there is some possibility of marriage breaking in Venus Dasha itself. But does Rahu have anything to do with A8? He has Argala on A8. Mercury and Rahu, they have Saturn and Mars and Sun. Oh gosh. Actually, how many Argalas are there on A8?
11th house Mercury.
Mercury, is 11th house Mercury and 11th house Rahu, counting backwards. So 2 Argalas, they are obstructed by Jupiter and Moon. So 0. Saturn and Mars, are they obstructed? No. So 2 Argalas. Sun, 5th house, how many Argalas? 2, good. Who? Sun and Ketu. So there are 2 5th house Argalas by Sun and Ketu. So there are 4 Argalas. So 4 effective Argalas after removing Virodha Argalas. So 8 is very strong. So the results of 8th or 12th house, they can be given very prominently. And who can give them? One of the planets causing Argala, which is Saturn, Mars, Rahu, Mercury, Ketu, Sun. Out of these, who are the Marakas? Taking the 8th house, aspects on the 8th house, from the 7th house Marakas, from UL Marakas. If you see, Rahu has his hand everywhere. He is getting his hand dirty in every puddle that is out there, right? So it's not actually impossible that Rahu Dasha breaks this marriage. Moreover, where is Bhoga? From Venus, Rahu, from Mahadasha Lord Venus, Rahu is in 10th house. From Rahu, if you take the 10th house, where is it? It is in Virgo. Virgo is the 11th house from Lagna, basically Harasthana. And Virgo aspects, not only is it Harasthana, it aspects the 8th house. And it is Maraka from UL. Virgo and Aquarius are the Markasthanas from UL. So, during this time, what is Bhoga, what is experienced, can be break of marriage. It is a possibility.
We were wrong yesterday. We didn't analyze this aspect.
So there are so many different factors. So there is a possibility. And apart from marriage, etc., just see Rashi. How is Rahu in the Rashi chart? How is Rahu? He is the 12th lord in the 8th house. Yes. So what do you attribute to that? Will this be if the marriage breaks, will it basically break the person or will he just move on? What do you think?
It will move on. It will give all the trouble and tensions and
Yeah, he will basically it will be a big trouble, but at the end of the trouble things will be fine for him. So if this marriage breaks, basically it's not the end of the world for this person. So it's not like, because earlier we were talking about a depressive Saturn and Moon combination giving depression. You can't really, you don't really have to be worried. It's not likely that he will be so unhappy that he will be depressed or he will commit suicide or something like that. It's not.
He'll find somebody else and
He'll find somebody else. And why was this person deceptive? When it came to marriage, this person was deceptive. He deceived and got married. Why this deception? Rahu in Navamsya. Okay. What is the house of deception? I mean, how do you judge somebody's deception? Okay, 9th house is Dharma and the house of speech is what? Second house. So the standard rules are, if the second lord is basically he's afflicted or he's in a sign of Saturn or Mars. The signs of Saturn and Mars are conducive to lies, conducive to deceit. So if the second lord is in a sign of Mars or Saturn, or if the second house is afflicted by malefics, or if Jupiter, the Karaka for truthful speech, if he is afflicted by malefics, then there is a chance of lies for the person. And how is this person? How is the second lord Mars is in one sign, Mars is very strong, and second house has Jupiter. In general, that is a Satyavadi yoga, but he is afflicted by Rahu. Rahu is a functional malefic, and also Rahu is anti-Jupiter, and he is aspecting Jupiter. So that is basically not a good combination. And if you see Navamsya, like she said, the second house is really afflicted by Rahu, and Jupiter is afflicted by Rahu in Navamsya. Navamsya is your dharma, your sense of dharma. So if Jupiter is afflicted by Rahu there is some undesirable aspects as far as the sense of dharma is concerned. And this Rahu is debilitated. So very, he can blatantly lie. So probably this is a case of intentional lying, not really a white lie, a mistake basically. They really thought he would get a good job, but things did not work out or something like that. He can be a deceitful person.
So Jupiter is on the Rashi Sandhi.
Pardon me?
Also Jupiter is on the Rashi Sandhi, very close to the Lord.
Yeah, that's fine. So what?
So he is not fully strong.
He is Mrutavastha. He is in Mrutavastha, yes.
So he is not strong to be a Satyavadi.
Yeah. But Rahu's affliction is bad enough. Rahu is afflicting him, even Saturn is afflicting. Actually, if you look closely, Saturn has a very close aspect. Jupiter is at 29 degrees, Saturn is at 23 degrees in Cancer. So he has 10th house aspect on Jupiter. So this Jupiter is aspected by both Saturn and Rahu. And you know what? There is actually Brahmana Sap Yoga. When Jupiter in the second house is aspected by these, there is a possibility of some problem in the Satyavadi Yoga. But apart from it, there is Brahmana Sap Yoga actually, right? If two malefics are aspecting Jupiter, there is Brahmana Sap Yoga. What is the Mooladasha is running right now? This is just out of curiosity. What is the Mooladasha is running right now? He is running Shani Dasha from 2001 to 2013. Is it a good Dasha? No, of course not. The Brahmana Sapa is giving its result. 2013 to 2027, Rahu Dasha. Again, the Brahmana Sapa is giving its result. So, this person basically did some bad things in the past life, and he made a Brahmin very unhappy and he felt cheated. Yeah, he felt sad and cheated. So, because of that, the results of that he is experiencing right now. Saturn is in Marutvanamsha, Rahu is in Kalamsha. So, Rahu will be even worse. So, he has, this person's chart seems unlucky for a while actually, for several more years. And the fact that he is running Venus Dasha, who is a functional malefic in Dashamsha as well as Rasi chart, his Dasha is running right now. So, all these, and Venus is in A8 in Rasi chart, Vrichupada. So, all the various undesirable things are going on in the chart. So, there is no, I don't have any realistic hope of this person reforming, or I don't have any realistic hope of this marriage surviving, and I don't have a realistic hope of, more importantly, I don't have a realistic hope of this person having a successful career for a while to come. But if this person comes to you and asks you, you can tell him that from 2009 to 2012 is the best time in his career. And who should he pray to? Who is the Amatya Karaka? Sun, I believe. Yes, Sun. Sun is the Amatya Karaka. And how is Sun? In the Navamsha, where is Sun? He is in Aquarius. Who is the sixth lord from there? Moon. So, who is the Devata he should pray to for livelihood? For Moon. Yeah, it can be Parvati, it can be Lalita, and he is with Jupiter and Rahu. Moon is with Jupiter and Rahu. So, who should we suggest? Rahu can be Tara, Durga, Jupiter can be Tara. Okay, so suggest something, finalize something. Pardon me? Rahu is a troublemaker in the Dashamsha as well as in general he is a troublemaker. So, maybe Durga, maybe Moon with Rahu, a troublemaker Rahu, to get Rahu under control, maybe Durga is the right person. So, tell him to read Durga Saptashloki or Durga Saptasiti every day. Yeah. Yeah, it's a problematic chart. And just quickly, how is Narayana Dasha right now? Did you guys check that? Rashi Narayana Dasha. His Dasha starts from the 7th house and he is in Libra Dasha right now, 8th house Dasha. And later Aquarius Dasha. Okay, nothing to look forward to. So, okay, so nothing really important. So, he should pray to Durga every day. Any other things you can suggest? Any other prayers?
You can suggest fasting on Sunday.
Fasting on Sunday?
No. I didn't say Sunday.
Thursday?
Fasting on Sunday.
Sunday? For what purpose? For career? You are fasting Sunday? Okay, you normally do that in the Rashi chart. So, Thursday. If he wants to save his marriage, you can tell him to fast on Thursday, and at the end of the fasting,
Pray to Venkateshwara, so pray to Saturn, Kali basically.
Saturn, second lord, or planet in the second house you can take. And Venus is a Karaka for marriage. So, because he is in the second house, he can actually protect it. So, you can pray to Lakshmi. So basically fast on Thursdays, at the end of the day pray to Lakshmi. So that can save marriage. And the thing with that is Lakshmi, Venus, he is also exalted 7th Lord. So he really wants this marriage to hold on, even though he also wants A8, being the 7th Lord. He wants to, and also from UL he is in the 8th house of longevity. So this Venus wants to sustain the marriage. He wants to keep the marriage going. So praying to Lakshmi is ideal, more than Kali.
Where is it in 8th house?
From UL in the Rashi chart.
From UL in Rasi.
So he is in the 8th house from UL, the house of longevity. He is the Karaka for marriage, he is the 7th Lord. And also he is the Lord of A9 Bhagyapada in Navamsa. So for all these reasons, if anybody wants to see the marriage continue in this chart, in this Navamsa chart, it is Venus. After that, anybody else. And if anybody wants to break it, it is Rahu. So it is basically a tussle between Venus and Rahu right now. So praying to Lakshmi is the best thing. Not just on Thursday after fasting. In general, if he prays to Lakshmi every day, it is good for marriage. Especially if he fasts on Thursdays and then prays to Lakshmi, it is particularly good. Okay. So convey that to him. And oh, by the way, he is Darakaraka too. He is the 7th Lord, he is the natural Karaka, he is Darakaraka. So Venus is like the most key planet for marriage. So Lakshmi is a must. Okay. So all the best to this person. May God do the right thing to his marriage and may he find some stability in his career. So on that note I will end for today. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.